Hello and welcome to Behind the Wheel once again. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do a compression test. I'm going to be doing it on my car, but the same test is universal for every car. You do it the same way. Maybe just where the parts are located will be different. So first of all, the parts you're going to need is a compression tester. I bought this at the auto parts store. I can't remember how much it was, but I don't think it was more than $30. There's a Bosch one. But yeah, it shouldn't cost too much. Next, you're gonna need a torque wrench, and then this extension. You could use a regular spark plug socket with a extension at the end, but the only thing is on my car, since you have to put it inside the cylinder. The reason I bought this was I was scared that once I tightened it and I would have to pull it back out, that the extension would come off of the spark plug socket, and I would have the spark plug socket in there. So I bought this one. I think it was like 15 bucks, and it's all one piece, so it doesn't come apart. It has like a ball socket in there, so once you tighten it and you pull it out, it'll all come out together. And then, like I said, you'll need a torque wrench. For mine, I just needed it's not a lot of torque, so I just bought an inch-pound one, and this wasn't too expensive either. Then you'll need you could use a regular torque wrench too, but I bought this one too, just in case I need it. And then for my car, I'm gonna need a 10mm socket to take off the coilover plug, and I think that's it. Alright, so first of all, you're going to want to locate first of all, you're going to want to warm your car up. So mine's already warmed up, so I could go ahead and turn it off. And then you're going to want to locate your fuel pump fuse. And the reason you want to do that is because when you're cranking it over, you don't want any fuel going into the engine, because you're going to be cranking it at least 4 or 5 times per cylinder. So each time you're going to be shooting fuel in there if you don't pull out that fuse. So once you pull it out, you don't have anything to worry about. So on my car, the fuel pump fuse is under the dash, but it might be different on your car. So yeah, locate it and find something to pull it out with. I don't have an actual fuel pump or a fuse remover, so I'm just going to use a pair of tweezers. Alright, so here's the fuse box under the dash. Here's a legend, or whatever you want to call it. So it says it's 15A, the fuel pump fuse. So the second one up on the left hand side. So take a look at your fuse box, and mine is gonna be this one. So take a look at yours and take a look at your legend, and that'll tell you exactly which one to pull out. So now that I got the fuse removed, I'm just gonna try it out to make sure it doesn't turn on. Yeah, we're good. Alright, so now let's get started on the compression test. One thing that I forgot to mention that you will need when removing these bolts here, if you have an S2000, is the Allen key. I'm not quite sure what size this is, but just check in your toolbox, and if you have a set of these, it'll be pretty easy to find. Alright, so first of all, what you're going to want to do is remove these. So if you have an S2000, there's 4 bolts that you need to remove. So just take them off with this. You break them loose, and then taking them off will be pretty easy. So the next thing you're going to want to do is grab your ratchet, your 10mm socket, and remove these 4 bolts to take off the coils. Next thing you're gonna want to do to get to the spark plugs is just pull these out and pull the connector off, and do that with each one. These don't go in any particular order, so you don't have to mark them, but if you do want to mark them, go ahead, but it doesn't really matter if you mix them up. So once you're here, just to pull off the spark plugs, grab that socket the spark plug socket I was telling you about, and your ratchet, and just stick this in there, and you should feel when it goes in. You feel it get a little bit tight, so then just pull it off. And you're gonna want to pull off each one of them at the same time. Some people say you could do pull one out, test it, put it back in, take the other one out, test it, put it back in. But it's recommended that you pull them all out at the same time and then put them all back in at the same time. Once you got this screwed in, all you have to do is just screw it in and the thread should catch. What you're gonna do is crank it, say I'm gonna do mine around four or five times, but just make sure you do it the same amount of time, crank it over the same amount of times on each cylinder. And you're gonna want to do this with the throttle wide open. So what that means is just floor it while you're cranking it over. So let's see what we get. Alright, so for that cylinder we got around 230, which is pretty good. And after you do that, just write it down somewhere so you remember them. And 230, just release this before you're going on to the next cylinder. So now that we know how to do this, it's the same process for each cylinder. And let me know if this video helped you down in the comments. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And thanks for watching. So after doing all four, if anyone's interested, my compression readings were on cylinder 1, 230, cylinder 2, 230, cylinder 3, 225, and cylinder 4, 235. So what that tells me, with all of them being pretty consistent, is that I have a pretty healthy motor, which it should be since I'm at only 50,000 miles right now, and I'm pretty satisfied with the readings. So just put everything back in the order that you took them out. Those, like I said, those coils that go over the plugs, it doesn't really matter which order they go in, but if you want, you could number them and put them in how you took them out. And be sure to put your fuel pump fuse back in. And I forgot to mention what the purpose of this test is. So to try to explain it in the little knowledge that I have on this is, when the piston compresses the cylinder with the air and fuel mixture in there, you want to have as much compression as possible in there. And so like I said, if one of the numbers was lower than the rest, it means that some of that air and fuel mixture is escaping through maybe the valves, or if you have other problems with the cylinder, that's where the air and fuel mixture will escape through. So that's why it's good to have a pretty good or a pretty high reading on all cylinders. And there's a pretty good test. It'll tell you exactly where the problem is, if there is a problem, and it'll help you. It's a good thing to know how to do. It'll probably help you one day if, say, you have a car that has a problem or it's not running as it should be. This test will help you find that problem. So once again, thanks for watching, and please subscribe if you're interested in more content. And if there's something you want to see me do on the channel, even if I don't have to do it on my car, I'll do it anyways, just to show you guys. I'm no professional, but if you read up on it, you'll be able, and yeah, if you read up on it and you start doing it, it'll be fairly easy. So thanks for watching.